Hello and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian and I am joined with Dylan.
Hey.
And for this very special occasion, on this Christmas Eve episode, I want you to all gather round as I summon the one and only Chase.
Hello again, everyone.
Ripped from the void.
And there he is. Look at that, just like magic.
He was actually just kind of lying around and we snatched him up.
Right. You know, as we normally do. It doesn't take a lot. I think you just have to have like a Rain energy drink present.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe, what else? If there was, hypothetically, like 3 items that we would need to summon you, Chase, what would it be?
Probably like a burger.
Some sort of candy? Or some sort of a Halo?
Probably.
Right. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
A console.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
That and just not having to go to work the next day.
Oh yeah. I can promise you. I have
a free off
I have
day.
a doctor's excuse, like a handwritten, a console, and a Rain energy drink, and all of a sudden, all these things combine, and then ta-da!
I'm here.
There he is. You have a Chase.
Make sure there is a mirror around. It's how he transports himself.
Right.
Yes.
So this week's episode, I was wanting to do some sort of Christmas-like episode, but the more we thought about it, the more I was like, I can't really think of anything like as far as a Christmas movie that I want to watch right now
Rudolph.
that I probably haven't already seen.
Right.
And I kind of wanted to watch something new anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And this was that episode, or this was that movie for us.
Taking
Or
it
for
back
me.
to the old West.
Just before I was born, this movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 1993?
It was, yeah. And it's Tombstone.
Yes. The Chronicle of Wyatt Earp and his Immortals.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was just trying to think, where do I start with
it's all
this?
good.
It is a great movie. And actually, funny story, I just now looked at this. The US release date for this movie was Christmas Eve.
Oh,
that-
wow.
1993.
That is funny.
My God.
Don't you play around, Dylan. You planned that.
I didn't, I swear. It's all coincidence.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, that's actually very interesting.
Lines up fairly well. That's hilarious.
Right. And this movie is what, 28 years old? So we're
Just
approaching?
about, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it is a story about a man just doing his darndest.
Comes to a town looking to start a business of sorts, making money
Right.
with his 2 brothers.
Yep. And they're ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And their one friend.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
they-
Well, I
they
mean, he
run-
was already there.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
They kind of run into
Drinking.
him there, which is
Running scams.
what an interesting story that is, to run into an old friend there. I really enjoyed the way this movie like unfolds.
Yeah.
Like each step of it, each chapter of the movie, I love.
I mean, it's a downward spiral.
Yes, but like it definitely every step feels deliberate. Every next moment feels like there's cause behind it. Like at no point, like halfway through the movie, was it like, well, where are we going to next, or what's the
Right.
plan? It like everything's building on itself from the last section of it, where it just feels very linear and like you're in it the whole time. You're like, okay, I understand what's going on, and I love that.
It's got a good pace to it.
Yes, and I had never really watched old Western movies.
Oh,
I've never really seen Western movies.
man, it is. It's easily one of my favorite genres of
Really?
film. Yes.
I understand, and if this movie's any kind of bearing as to that, I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
one of
awesome.
the best.
Yes.
There's some really good John Wayne ones out there.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. I mean,
I've got the good, the bad, and the ugly. Wait, no, that's not John Wayne. That's Clint Eastwood.
Oh, but that one's good too.
That is good.
well, like I said, for most
True
of these,
Grit, that's what I'm thinking of.
True Grit, I've heard a lot about.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen any of those, and I would love to. I believe I've seen probably some Western movies or like parts of them.
Yeah.
But in its entirety, no, I don't think I've seen any.
Well, let's chalk this one up on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just add it to the list.
If there's one thing I can say before we get like really into the weeds about this movie, isn't it funny? And I made this joke before. Isn't it funny how like you can take these horrific characters in history or this archetype character in history, and then years later adapt them for children in some capacity? And what I've always gone to is the pirates. Is like there is a like brand of pirate like in the Caribbean and whatnot, if you will, or all that kind of stuff, where you have like the very essence of what like a pirate was probably back in the day was like they probably had some sort of gray areas, like good or bad, but like intrinsically they weren't the best characters.
Yeah, not necessarily the people you'd look up to.
Right. And now you have kids shows that are based off of pirates and how they're like, yar har.
Pirates
yeah,
are cool.
Exactly, because they're cool. And I get that. But it's like, this is that next iteration that I'm seeing, or I say next, it kind of, I realized it as we were watching it. I was like, in this movie, it depicts, you have these sheriffs, or you have this quote unquote lawmen, and you have what like people would think is like the standard way the law would work. And then you have these cowboys, and they're different. And they're like kind of these like pirate adjacent characters where they're not, sometimes they're
doing whatever they want.
Right. Sometimes they're not always bad, but more often than not, they're just kind of doing whatever they want, and they kind of like are not playing by the rules,
right?
And you can't really stop them. And again, it's just funny to think like how we're just like cowboys are cool, and I know like a lot of times also like it's the sheriff is also like is like this kind of cool character as well, but more
they'll
often
play up the sheriff, but then they'll play up cowboy as like a vigilante of sorts.
Of course, yeah. And like I said, I know that like there's every story is different, but in this aspect, I just thought it was funny how it's like we're the cowboys, and they're just going around in a town just like shooting up the place because they're like,
you do not root for the cowboys in this movie.
No, definitely not.
No, definitely not.
So I thought it was funny how like I love that. I'm just thinking like, what is this next iteration of like when are we gonna have little cute gang mafia mobsters that are like, hey, give me your money, and you're like, what is going on here? We're just like little kids shows that are like, I don't know. I just think it's funny how it's like, give it like 30, 40 years or even like a couple 100 years or so. And all of a sudden it's like, let's make this into a children's show of some kind or whatever. Because it's like the harshness of it, I think, is past or whatever. So
I think this was a show definitely intended for children above.
No.
About 8.
Oh, right. Here you go, little Timmy, watch this movie.
This is something I'd have to sneak like into the living room and watch on TV.
Wow.
While everyone else is asleep.
Yeah.
I don't think anything was like, well, I say that, and of course
you think about it.
I don't know. Though.
Yeah. I was just about to say, like, I don't think it was that bad, like, because I feel like I've seen worse television or worse movies. But then I forgot there was just like blatant titties. Like, again, obviously they're like animated or like, I guess, artistically interpreted. But I mean, it's not like they don't. They're definitely all there.
People straight up getting killed.
But like again, but what I'm saying is like movies and TV shows nowadays, there are kids that watch Squid Games, and Squid Games is like I would consider like pretty gruesome. Like it's pretty bad. And I was like, I don't think this movie. I think this obviously people get shot, but I don't think anything was like except for that one scene with Mick. What his name?
Doc.
No.
McMasters.
Where like his body was like kind of mangled up. I was like, that's kind of nasty.
I would say also the part where Doc Holliday shoots the one guy
in the head. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just kind of
shambling around.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, I don't know.
Like,
if
okay.
Oh man.
I was like, I don't know if I'd want my kids seeing that.
Nah. But like I said before, it's like I don't think that's like I feel like I've seen worse television nowadays.
Well, of course,
than that.
there's definitely been worse.
But I'm just saying worse that is more easily accessible is what I'm saying. Like I've seen worse television shows. It's like, okay, this is a little bit graphic for a TV show, and children are watching it. I'm like, well, okay, screw me then.
No,
but like I still thought like the story, and even though it came out in the 90s, it didn't have like this kind of. It didn't feel like it was kind of an old kind of movie, or like a lot of like I feel like 90s movies have like this kind of
the picture quality actually wasn't bad on it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was very well made. I've seen some 90s movies that I was like, man, this just looks
it almost
a little rough.
Like it looked like it was pretty much on par with today's movies.
Yeah.
At least film quality wise.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't put it past anyone at least to think that this movie could have been made nowadays.
I would have thought at the very least it was going to be made in like 2000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or approaching it. Yeah. But anyways, so as we were saying before, like this movie, if you haven't seen it before, I definitely would recommend watching this one. This is a good one to go see if you're into like that sort of drama, I'm guessing Western sort of
Cowboy
movies.
drama.
Cowboy drama, yeah. Cowboy drama.
You got sand, you got horses, and you got revolvers.
Oh,
And then,
shucks.
and then a town in the middle of nowhere.
And that's it.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when your saloon runs out of your favorite whiskey?
Yeah.
Western drama.
Oh, my God. Western
man.
world problem.
Western world.
Don't you hate when that one
Oh.
guy's being a prick, so you just kind of shoot him out in the street?
Right. Damn.
Oh, my God. Western world problem.
Western world problem. Don't you know?
Woof.
Dude, I loved how each of our like main characters were likable in different aspects.
Coolest motherfuckers you ever did
They were
see.
each one of them were so cool.
Mhm.
I thought they were all really awesome characters.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't really get like a whole lot of backstory on all of them at the get-go, but it's implied that they are previous law enforcement from like a different state of some kind.
Right.
And the
Kansas.
quote-unquote like vigilante cowboys don't like these lawmen in their town, or at least not, potentially trying to enforce some kind of law.
Right.
And through some certain circumstances, they inevitably become the law in some capacity. But, there are so many badass moments for our main character, who is played by Kurt Russell,
Mm-hmm.
he's an awesome actor.
Which he hasn't
Can't go
done anything
wrong.
in a long time, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
can't
I think
remember.
there's actually some drama right now with him.
Really?
I could be wrong, though. Hold on. Yes, hold on. Well,
I get him and you know the guy that plays in what's the movie with the glasses where you can see stuff?
They Live.
Yeah, I get him confused with that actor.
What you mean? I'm a
Roddy
little confused.
Piper?
Yeah, I get those two mixed up.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's funny.
because I thought they were the same person for a bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Man, that's really funny.
yeah.
Oh, I was wrong. Sorry. Okay, there is.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I was really worried. It's like,
No,
no, my
no.
boy.
The drama is with Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
With
yeah.
that whole. I forgot.
Whoa, okay, yeah, let's not open up that can of worms.
Right.
So, all right, going back to the drama alert with that.
Oh,
To be honest, I haven't looked into any of that, and I don't know what the problem is. I
Oh.
sort of do, but I know vaguely what it is. But it's okay. We won't
we'll
get
save
into
that for after.
Well, here's the
episode.
thing. There was a guy.
Right.
That was the first problem.
There was a guy.
There's always a guy.
There's always a guy. But anyways, Kurt Russell. So far, we have seen him in a couple different movies
He's
for the
been-
podcast.
Yeah, he's been in a few on our watch list.
On The Thing, he was that movie.
Yeah, McCready.
That wonderful family film.
Did he
Of
also
course.
play Big Trouble in Little China?
I actually haven't seen that
He
movie.
wasn't in that one, actually.
Wasn't in that
Oh.
one? Who was in that one?
Was it him? Hang on.
Hold on.
Was it him or was it the other guy?
Let me look this up.
As I was saying, he was in a recent movie we just watched, Escape from New York.
Oh, yes.
And
Good
I
old
think
Snake.
even what was it? Virgil. Even Virgil's character was played by he played the old cowboy in what's the movie called? Come on.
Come on, you know
it. The dude.
The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
I've
He
actually
played
never
the
seen that one.
Really?
he played the,
That's a good
he
one.
played the old cowboy character like
Mhm.
the kind of I guess you would call
the
him like this.
narrator.
Yeah, the narrator, this kind of mysterious figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like each one of these characters, and even Bill Paxton, who was in like Alien and all this stuff. We have some big name actors
Oh,
that
yeah.
all do a really good job of selling these really badass characters, dude. And there are so many. I wish I didn't do it in the moment, but I wish I would have wrote down some of those like one-liners.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there are so many moments when our guy, played by Kurt Russell, his name's Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt Earp. Dude, he is like this no bullshit character, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, like, there are some moments whenever he is just like letting these cowboys have it sometimes. And dude, it is so awesome.
I gotta say, probably my favorite moment was the guy getting in his face, and he just takes the gun from his holster and just hits him with it on the side of the head.
Bops him on the head real
Yeah.
quick.
Right. Just smacks him
Man.
across the face with his own gun.
Mhm.
The part that I love it, and this is where like the turning point in the movie for me happened, where I was like, this guy is a no nonsense character. Not to say that I didn't feel that before, but like it was definitely, this was that moment for me of like, oh, this is it. And it's whenever I'm assuming he's kind of like the ringleader guy. He's like the red shirt guy. I can't remember what he is.
Really?
He kind of looks a little Hispanic, and he is like kind of what seems to be like the guy or one of the two guys. And he just got done like killing the previous sheriff, like quote unquote by accident. And he's drunk or on drugs or whatever.
Right. Got shot up with something.
Right. And our boy Wyatt, our boy Wyatt, like knocks him across the head to like, knock him out or whatever.
Oh wait, yeah, there you said that.
And then all of his goons start coming around, and like all of Wyatt's guys start coming around as well. And then who was the coward's name?
Ike.
Ike.
Oh God, I would have.
Dude, he comes up there and like he's like getting ready to like to shoot him or whatever, or like to like he's getting up in his face. And then before you know it, Wyatt like has a gun like locked and loaded and like is staring at him in the face with this barrel fixed to his like forehead. And like the fear in that man's eyes and the determination of Kurt Russell in that scene where he's just like looking at him so serious.
Oh yeah. Giving him the glare.
And I don't quite know. I don't remember what happened verbatim. And this is what I wish I would have like wrote down was like some of these like lines
he's bluffing.
in the scene.
Let's rush him. It's like, no, he ain't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other guy.
Me.
The other guy behind him said that. He's like, oh, he's bluffing. Don't worry about it. And the guy with the gun at his head, Ike, is like looking there and with all honesty, he's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. He'll kill me right here. and then Wyatt, what does he say? I think he said something like before that kind of interaction happens, he's like, don't make a move, don't try anything,
it's
or
like
else
your boys might get me in a rush, but not before I turn your head into a canoe.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
and
I was like, damn, what a line.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple more instances in the movie like that, even with Wyatt's best friend Doc, how he is like this. He's also this like
Suave,
quick,
smooth talking
man.
drunkard.
He has that sort of like that Texas draw kind of accent, but like this kind of like old fashioned one that's so it's so interesting and it's so different from what I think Texans sound like right now.
Yeah.
What is his thing? I'll be your huckleberry.
I'm your huckleberry.
I'm your huckleberry. Dude, there's a couple times even when that man is like already, he has some sort of illness.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's tuberculosis.
Smoking, drinking.
Right.
Or way too long.
Or lung cancer of some kind, whatever. He he still has this kind of grit about him that like even like the biggest bad guy at the very end, whenever he like thinks he has Wyatt in his hands, nah. He turns around and it's our boy Doc and he's sitting there like, I'll be a huckleberry. Nah. Hey, dude, man, I was just playing
like
around.
Someone walked over your grave.
Yeah, you look like someone walked over your grave.
I want to say he was scared because I think he could actually draw faster than the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, probably so.
So I think that's what it was.
Right. Well, and I think it's the thing. Like, I think he is very well known for being a quick draw. And, of course, the other guy, Ringo, was also that as well. But I think it's just...
That little show-off he did at the bar.
Right. But the thing is, I think that even in that moment, whenever he's, like, showing off, Doc was still like...
Like, whatever.
Dude,
you ain't nothing.
Trust me when I say you're nothing to me.
Shoot you in the head.
Watch me. And then that was that scene whenever like it really comes down to it and he says, oh, it's just like we got to finish what we started. We got to play for blood. And he was like, man, I was messing around. Or I think he said something along those lines.
I was just fooling.
Yeah, I think he said, I was like, I was a little drunk and I was just fooling around. He's like, I wasn't. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
I do gotta say, one other scene that really sticks out is whenever they're kind of pinned down in the forest.
Oh yeah.
And
oh, dude,
Wyatt just gets up,
loses his mind,
starts just saying no over and over again as he shoots everyone.
Oh yeah.
just imagine saying no to a bullet.
And I think people literally just missing.
Yeah, they missed every shot on the motherfucker.
Yep.
And he's just out in the open. Probably.
But I also love that directly after that scene, the characters in the moment also talk about how ridiculous it is.
You ever seen anything like that?
Never seen it. I haven't even heard of anything like that.
Right.
And I was like, that's so funny.
To be fair,
even the characters are like, I don't even know what the hell's happening.
Right.
If it wouldn't have been for the very first scene, or where they're like, "Oh yeah, a pale rider's gonna come after you."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have been kind of like, but since they had that going for them, I was like, okay, well, it's kind of just destiny at this point.
Right. I do love that they talk about that. I love there's a point towards that like montage of them like killing all the cowboys whenever he says, let them know the death's coming. Like that is what.
And I think he's like, hell's right behind me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy.
It's a good movie.
Man. It just feels so epic and it's really fun.
If you're one of those crazy motherfuckers that gets off on like revenge stories, then this is one for you.
And speaking of, like Doc, whenever all the guys, just after they were talking about, I've never heard of anything like that. When Doc and the guys are talking, and one of the guys says like, man, I would hate to be the, what does he say? Like, I would hate that. I don't want to feel the kind of revenge he's feeling or whatever.
If they were my brothers, I'd want revenge too.
Right. And then, of course, Doc is like, it's not revenge. It's a reckoning.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus. There's so many, like, so many epic lines in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to, like, to watch this, like, kind of, this man have a family. His brothers end up getting killed by these cowboys, going on some sort of revenge run, and then, like, kind of losing everything to eventually try and gain something out of it. And it's just living his life and feeling like he has nowhere to go and just kind of going through the motions or whatever.
Right.
Then losing everything and then realizing like, oh, I have to go like live my life. Like I can't just like,
what the fuck have I been doing?
Right, exactly. And I can relate to that. And man, what a good story it is.
Oh yeah.
But what are some other good Westerns that we should watch?
Dude.
Besides True Grit,
it would definitely be any of Eastwood's old stuff.
Okay.
Fistful of Dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fistful of Dollars sounds
That's
fun.
a good one.
Interesting.
Let's see.
That sounds like fun. Well, also, what was your favorite character? Did you have a favorite character?
I gotta go with Doc.
Doc's a good
Gotta
character.
be my favorite.
Doc is a fun character.
What about you, Chase?
Gotta go for Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I always try to not pick the main character. I liked his character a lot, though.
Oh,
yes.
His character
Hard not to.
was really good. At first, like the first few scenes we've seen of Ringo, I kind of liked his character. I like the fact that like he feels like the second in command, but even the one guy in charge is kind of like, damn, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
Like even the head honcho guy is like, this guy's crazy, which is really interesting. Like for me, I love that kind of character. It's like you have this head honcho guy who's like, you know, telling everybody what to do and kind of moving along, but you have this like crazy second in command guy who's just like, no, I've already seen it all.
Right.
This crazy old coot, you know, blathering about Revelations. So I shot him in the head. He said that the devil's coming on a pale horse. And hell's coming with him. He was
whatever.
Like, it's like, geez, okay,
As
wow.
if.
If you say so, man.
When was the last time you ever heard of the horse killing him?
I don't know. And then in the movie theater, that same sort of thing happens where like boss guy, red shirt, like leans over and I forgot exactly what he says to him. You know, I think it's like what would you
would you sell
your soul to the devil or whatever? And he's like, I already did.
Right.
It's like, Jesus, man. I was
like, okay, buddy.
All right.
Thought that was a pretty light question, but I guess not. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought his character was really cool until like the movie kind of panned out.
Yeah.
But oh, dude,
man,
great.
Yeah.
Describe this movie in 3 words.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see.
Angry sand gun. What do you got, Chase?
Money, dead, revenge.
Money, dead, revenge.
Dead revenge.
Wow.
Let's see.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's actually how the movie kind of pans out.
Yeah, kind
They go there for money, people get killed, and then there's revenge.
Yeah.
Oh, and you also forgot Hussy. That's another one.
Oh, God.
Jesus. For a second there, I hated that whole plot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not one for, like,
issues
infidelity.
With promiscuity.
Well, I mean, and not so much that. It's more just, like, infidelity kind of thing.
I gotta cheat on my wife.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not really a big fan of that.
To be fair, he never outright said that.
I know. And again, like
Heavily
she was
implied, though.
Right.
Right. And the thing is, like, I can't blame him too much because
She's a redhead.
No,
No,
dude. To be honest, I thought the lady that played his wife was more attractive, in my personal opinion.
I do remember you saying that.
But but I think the big thing is that they try to make it seem like that she has like a drug problem, and I guess she does. But it's like they try to make it more like
it's more like she did.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess you're right. But it's like you can tell that she has like a problem, and he is trying to be a good husband at certain points, but then you can tell that she just doesn't want to get help. No. And it's like, and
she's
again,
on her way out,
right? And so for me, I don't blame him. Right. You can only help somebody so much before you got to help yourself.
Mm-hmm. However, they didn't really give her all that much screen time.
No,
exactly.
And I mean, she's not really a focal point of the movie.
Right.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
But it definitely feels like it's stepped around.
Right. As opposed to just straight up dealt with.
Well, exactly. Because they're trying to hammer home she's trying to have sex. She's trying to sex him up real good. And so it's like, it definitely feels like there is an issue here with his wife. And we found out eventually it's his wife, not just like girlfriend or side chick or whatever. Right. And this hussy comes into town and is like, I want that tall drink of water. And it's like,
like
okay, yeah. The thing is, like, I'm also not playing into either side. Like, I don't like this for male characters. I don't like this for female characters. So the fact that she comes into town is like
observation.
I know, but I'm just saying for myself. I'm not trying to be hypocritical. Where like if we were in the same situation where there's like a couple of, if a man and a husband were, a husband and wife were together, and then of course, I'm sorry, hey, a husband and wife are together, and the guy's like, oh, look at that tall drink of water over there, like I'm gonna go sex her up or whatever. It's like, or vice versa, if she had a husband and he's over here, I'm not okay with that either.
Right.
I was just prefacing that it's not just this circumstance where this woman is trying to, get into the relationship.
I feel like they probably hooked up after his wife just said, yeah, I'm just going to OD now.
It's like, man, I sure do love drugs.
Ah, man.
Sure do love that opium.
Love them to death.
Well, I mean, hey, like I said, and that's why I think it makes it, I'm not saying it makes it okay. The part where she ends up like running away with Virgil and the rest of the ladies to go be safe.
Right.
That's understandable. But for me, just personally, it still kind of feels a little weird.
She definitely got rid of those headaches, though.
I don't know about that.
Permanently.
An opium overdose is definitely one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids, please.
Why stop the pain when you can just stop everything?
Jesus. Oh, oof.
Why stop the pain when you can just sleep?
Whoa. Oh, damn, son.
Is that what Doc heard after he passed?
No. Damn it.
God.
Jeez, Chase.
Spoilers, man.
How insensitive.
I know we're talking about everything here, but come on.
It's been out since 1993. What's their excuse?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
you have no excuse.
Well, I think there is the thing. If it's been out for over 20 years, there's no spoiler warnings.
The thing is,
you don't get one.
I actually didn't even know about this movie, so.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't say anything, Chase.
Yeah. I mean, but I didn't even know it existed, so that's one thing.
Well, there you go.
Well, I hope it's up there now.
It definitely
as far as good movies go for
really
you.
Good.
Of course.
Nice.
Let's see what we got as far as like the Wikipedia goes. We got anything?
Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia.
Another good one would probably be The Lighthouse, though.
Oh man, definitely.
Yes.
That one isn't a Western, but by God, it will put the fear into you.
Oh, well, how so?
It's fucking scary. It's a thriller / horror film starring Willem Dafoe, and I forget the other actor's name.
I like Willem Dafoe.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, whenever I saw him in there, I was like, oh,
he's the Green Goblin.
I was like, well, that's interesting that he's in that. Mm-hmm. They speak kind of more old timey English,
right?
And
it's, really?
Yeah, so it's a little hard to grasp it sometimes.
Old sailor speak.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's neat though. It's a black and white film.
No, say it ain't so. Say it's not true that you don't like my lobster.
Oh God!
What now? I feel like I'm missing something here.
You'll see.
Yeah, that'll make sense once we actually watch the movie.
I see. It's a pretty good reference to it because I don't know. It's kind of just a funny part.
Yeah.
After a bunch of crap goes down.
Right. We'll get into that.
Interesting. I'm trying to see if I can't find some like facts and stuff on the movie. See if there's anything
little
interesting.
fun facts, little factoids.
I hate the word factoid.
What?
I don't like that.
Here's an
Do
interesting.
you hate the word spacenoid?
A little bit.
I
A
do.
little less so.
What about earthnoid?
Earthnoid's gross.
Oh god.
Get out of here.
Here's an interesting factoid.
you're gonna love Zeta. Woo!
Wow.
Yowza.
Yowza.
Yeah, that's what I
Kurt
said.
Russell was Tombstone's real director. Is what it says
Really?
here. Yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I believe it's just like a little.
Did you ever find out if he was the one that played Big Trouble in
Oh
Little
shit!
China?
No, I didn't. I saw Ethan's message and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, Ethan just came in just so that way we can say Ethan was not on this episode specifically because he is on like a long trip to Kentucky to do the Bourbon Trail, and he actually finished it. And he said he got all the stamps in his book, and I'm like, congrats,
nice.
man. So he's gonna get like a special token of
Oh
memorabilia.
my god, it was.
It was.
It is Jack. It's Kurt Russell.
Really?
Yeah, he plays the main character.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh my god.
You never realized?
No.
Have you seen it
He
before?
looks so different as opposed to like
See,
his usual appearances.
yeah. So, seeing his younger self like that, could you see how I could kind of mistake?
Oh
him?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because that's usually how I see Kurt Russell
That's so
in those type of movies.
So what movie is that?
Big Trouble in Little China.
What is that?
It's one that I've got on my shelf
I don't.
that we're gonna watch eventually.
I'll be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
I remember very little about it.
Yeah.
I
I mean that's fine. Well, you might be able to star on that episode too if you want.
Yeah.
We'll
That'd
see.
be a good one.
Did you guys know that Willem Dafoe almost played Doc Holliday?
Really?
Yeah.
That'd
Wow.
have been interesting.
It says that Doc Holliday was reportedly the first choice for the role. It's even crazier to imagine that.
They got the real Doc Holliday.
Right. That the lead role in the Martin Scorsese film would sour a studio actor, but apparently the decision. The Last Temptation of Christ, some 5 years earlier.
What?
I don't know what that is, but I guess like it. Anyways, it was some sort of like I think it was like a confrontation or something like that.
Oh,
They're like,
just
let's not get Willem Dafoe. Yeah, I guess
detailing
a little, yeah, right.
Damn.
I
I guess it wasn't really a fun fact after all.
right. Not a fun fact at all.
Jeez.
Doc Holliday's finger walking trick is Val Kilmer staple. Says the way
Really?
does his little he rolls the coins across his knuckles.
Oh yeah.
Isn't
that's-
just super
cool.
cool. It's something.
He actually just knows how to do.
Yeah, it's a signature move for the actor.
Oh, that's interesting.
Says it goes all the way back to the 80s. Eagle-eyed viewers will be awarded to discover similar finger-walking maneuvers throughout any kind of pre-Tombstone filmography.
Interesting.
Yeah, Top Gun, real genius.
Oh, that's funny. Me and
Oh,
a
shit.
coworker were talking about Top Gun earlier.
I keep forgetting about Top Gun. We need to watch that one.
Interesting. Well.
There's no whales here, only the watering hole for the horses.
And the
What?
fountain.
you need a drink, we got whiskey.
We got whiskey and moonshine.
There's a headstone. There's a headstone visible in an early scene with the epitaph "So cool, it seems ripped straight from a plastic grave marker
Mhm.
from a Halloween novelty shop. Here lies. I read this.
Yeah.
Here lies Lester Moore. 4 slugs
Yep.
from a 44. No less, no more.
Yeah.
Which his name is Les.
Right.
Lester Moore. Which is
Yeah,
so
I thought that was
funny.
funny.
Oh, that is
But this
funny.
isn't just some sort of like movie thing. It is actually a real artifact from the Old West.
Really?
Old West. Sorry, I didn't mean to say West. That was my
The
bad.
old West.
The Old
so
West.
That was actually
It
somebody's.
says there's an actual headstone in a Tombstone, Arizona cemetery that says that. However, that's not the one actually seen in the film, obviously.
Of course.
Yes.
The producers actually filmed some of the movie on location, but
Man, that's cool.
they also had some other stuff that was. But that
I
is
can't believe that's real.
that is a replica of the headstone
Wow.
That is funny.
in question. Sits in the park's Wild West area.
Damn.
So,
Lester
but that
became
is
a fucking joke.
And I read that and I felt like that was some sort of special thing that I didn't know about. And dude, that is so funny. I love that. But anyways,
Man.
yeah, what a fun time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I just, one more time, let me just read that. Here lies Lester Moore, 4 slugs from a 44, no less, no more.
Dude.
It almost sounds like offensive.
Yeah, the fucking poet was carving that shit in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way,
It's so funny.
there actually is another movie. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but it does have Clint Eastwood in it. But it's called Gran Torino.
Yes.
Heard
Yeah,
of it.
that one's good.
Yes. We need to get that one.
Ironically, me and my dad were watching it, and my mom just kind of walked out of the living room going, "I don't want to watch a stupid car movie." It's like, it's not about the car.
Man.
The car's just kind of in it. The car's in
That's
it like
mean.
the car's in it maybe I think 4 times throughout the whole
Wow.
movie. So
That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Has she ever seen it?
what? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. There's probably also Dirty Harry.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh man. Yeah, that for sure.
Wyatt smacks a man multiple times.
Considering we were
in front
making
of, in front of the very men Tyler was insulting, adding insult to injury, saying, "Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens."
You gonna do anything, or you just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
stand there and bleed?
oh god, yeah.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the coward guy?
No,
No,
it
no,
was
no.
a different one.
Different
Oh
guy.
right, he just kind of walked off and never
Yeah.
appeared. Okay.
Didn't show his face again.
Dude, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're a daisy if you do.
Considering we kept making references to that movie
Oh yeah,
with the "Make My Day."
right.
That's so
Feel lucky,
crazy.
punk.
Yeah.
Will do you?
Yeah.
Looks like somebody just walked over.
I
the grave.
guess so.
Damn, dude. I
Yeah.
also loved.
Damn, Daniel.
I also loved whenever like Doc ever like the couple times he did say it, he's like, "Say when." And it's like, oh man, it's like his like taunts are so good.
Mhm.
He just has this
one
demeanor.
Of the most quotable films I know of.
Dude, especially Doc's character,
Mhm.
like we said before, is like looks like someone just walked over your grave. It's like,
I
oh
like-
yeah,
I like how after he shoots him and the guy's stumbling around, he's still just talking to him.
oh yeah, dude, I can't remember what he said in that moment, but he was like taunting him for real.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking to myself, does he even understand anything you're saying at this point?
I mean,
No.
he probably is sort of comprehending most of it, but is in the process of losing consciousness.
Yeah, just dying.
Mhm.
But again, like I said, it just fits that character so well. Whenever it's like you have this character that has been established from the beginning of the movie as being like death and hell
Right.
will follow him. And then just to have this like quick draw character just like really make him shudder. It's like,
Mhm.
who is afraid of who? What is the phrase? Like, who is death afraid of? And it's like that
Oh,
kind of thing
yeah.
or whatever. It's like, this is that moment where it's like this character is on top of the world and he has found someone that
He meets
scares
the
the
pale horse.
yeah, he scares the shit out of him,
Mhm.
and it's so good.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
they just
Yeah,
oh,
because
man.
I think he was expecting, what was Kurt Russell's character?
Wyatt.
Yeah, I think he was expecting Wyatt to show up, and then it's
Right.
like, oh, you're
Mm.
finally, oh god, it's you.
It's me, your Huckleberry.
hell's coming with
Did you
me.
forget about me?
I think it was just kind of like oh shit, it's you.
Right.
Oh man, I'm not ready for this. Even at his worst, he is still better than you at your best.
Oh yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. I also like how you mentioned almost at the very, very beginning that Doc wasn't looking so good.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I was like,
He
oh man,
looks like
The-
crap.
well, like there's like moments like you can see like I'm assuming it's like the makeup
Mhm.
team did a really good job of making his lips feel pale. He just like from the very get go, I was like, I didn't know if this was just kind of like his strange complexion or something like that. But as I watched a couple more scenes and like he looks a little more sweaty than everyone else and he looks a little pale, it's like I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't look good.
I originally
And
thought
there's
that the actor just wasn't feeling good.
Right.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
definitely do a good job.
Yeah, and so as it kind of progresses out, like you get to see he's actually not doing good,
Mhm.
and it shows that he's like,
He's got the sickness.
yeah, he's got the sickness.
Right.
I thought they were just gonna say it was TB.
I mean, it very well could be.
It's,
but-
I'd say that's a trope for a lot of Western material nowadays. Is
Yeah,
that
considering
there's always someone who's dying of tuberculosis,
Well, I mean, it was I don't was it
or
actually
lumbago.
Lumbago.
Yes.
What is lumbago?
I think it's like some made up disease.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a reference to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Because I could have swore that it was what people used to call tuberculosis before they actually knew what it was.
Maybe.
I got lumbago. And it's like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I could be wrong, though. I could be very
A
wrong.
slow and painful death, my brother.
It's funny because I think the guy in the game was just saying that so he would have to avoid work.
Right.
Yikes.
A layabout.
Right. So I could have swore that like tuberculosis was like very contagious. Or am I wrong?
I think it was at the time.
I can't remember if it's actually contagious or
That's
just...
why.
No. It's I think it's only communicable through certain ways.
I think it's through
like
blood.
if you drink or eat after them.
Because
Interesting.
For example, in Red Dead, I remember you're basically punching the guy and you get like I think some of the blood in your mouth or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
And I think he spits it out, of course, but I think that's how he catches it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oof.
so I think it's through like
That
blood or
probably makes
saliva.
sense. That probably makes sense. Because I know, wasn't it tuberculosis, like after you died, they would like have to incinerate your body
I believe so, yeah.
because of that same sort of thing as like the blood would transfer. It's like we can't
Right.
have your blood.
My second oldest sister actually came down with it while she was in school. And she
Really?
Yeah. She had to just, like, she couldn't go to school for weeks on end.
What?
She was bedridden.
Holy
I remember
shit.
going to visit her in the hospital, like, a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I think I was playing Red Dead or something and made a joke, and you're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "No."
Right.
Damn, dude. Was
Yeah.
so, and she's okay now? Like,
I mean, yeah, she got over it. She
wow.
came out tough as nails.
I believe it.
Mhm.
Wow, dude. Okay, well, that's
Living
interesting.
a healthy life with 2 kids.
There you go.
Mhm.
Congrats. She got
Oh,
over lumbago.
Oh, it was,
Yeah.
the,
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
it was the sister that was married, or that is married.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Wow.
that actually.
Mhm.
Wow,
didn't
that's
realize that.
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But that's that. What I was saying was, I'm not sure how prevalent tuberculosis was back then, but I know. I mean, I would imagine it kind
Yeah,
of was.
nowadays it's few and far between, but I mean, it's still bad
Because I think they
if you
got.
get it.
I'll believe it.
I think they got like vaccines for it basically now.
Yeah.
Probably so.
I
But-
would imagine. I would hope so.
Right.
At the very least, I don't want anyone to go through what my sister did.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
Woof.
Yeah, but that's why I also thought either it was some sort of tuberculosis or it was like lung cancer of some kind or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like he's not. Because
Like
I mean,
the doc
he's
was
smoking a
saying,
lot. Yeah.
Like the doctor told him, like at least 80 to 90% of his lung tissue is
Yikes.
like just gone.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
Well, I like how he fell off the horse and then he comes to fight. What's his name? Ringo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then comes to fight Ringo. And honestly, if I was his buddy, I'd be like, "What the hell?"
What are you doing here?
You want to talk about
How
seeing
are
a
you
ghost?
standing?
Like I just saw a ghost for real.
I'd be like, "You passed out on the horse and fell
Yeah.
off of it,
Yeah.
and now you're just here. Like
He
what?"
just gets up and is like, oh, I guess the strain was just too much for the little
Yeah.
boy.
Dude, that was
It's like-
so funny.
Yeah, man,
Oh, strain was just so too much. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, damn.
I guess I was just.
This man is dead. This man is
Yeah.
dead with a hole in his head. You're over here mocking his dead body.
Right.
You're savage.
Yeah.
Also, his words saying, "Oh, he's just a black hole, and no amount of killing, stealing, and
Oh
anything
yeah.
else is gonna
Yeah.
fill it."
No, of course not. And the thing, but I think he says that. He says that in that moment because he's talking about himself. Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, I think
Yeah,
because
I mean,
they draw
similar.
they draw parallels in that first scene whenever he's talking about, you know, he's an intellectual man,
Mhm.
like talking about Ringo,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. He's like, now I really hate him.
Yeah.
Now I definitely hate him. All that kind of stuff.
Reminds me of me.
It reminds me of me a lot. And so they have this kind of like rivalry at the top where you can tell that like they're very much intelligent,
Well-learned
swift
individuals.
Yeah, swift individuals that are good at their craft. And so I feel it felt in that moment whenever he's on the bed and he's not doing so well, talking about our guy Doc, he's talking about Ringo's character
Mm-hmm.
as if he knows him like a personal friend. And so
Right.
I feel like it only made sense to me that it's like, because I think he attributes a lot of that to himself as well.
Mhm.
He's like, he just has revenge because he was born in this world and there's nothing that will fill that void for him because that's me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no amount of
there's one
love.
thing.
There's no amount of, what?
There was one thing that would fill it.
I mean, maybe.
A bullet.
A bullet.
Right. But it's like there's no amount of killing or, cigarettes, alcohol that'll fill that void. And it's like it is what it is.
Angry at the world.
Exactly. And it's like it definitely felt like and that's me. Like I have lived in that life through his position, and you just got to go through it. And it's like,
Right.
because they also kind of extrapolate that some more, where again he even says like, I forgot what the character says to talk about it. It's in that moment whenever like the whole crazy thing happened where they're like, I've never seen anything like that. I've never heard anything about it. He basically says like, I don't know why you're here, not like in the bed resting like you're supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, because he's my friend or something like that. And he's like, I got a lot of friends. He's like, I don't.
Right.
That's like that's a very much a key thing. It's like our boy Doc finally has like something he's kind of fighting for, something he believes in this world, and it's kind of like filling that void for him.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's really awesome. I never really answered that question initially. I usually never like to pick the main character because it feels a little obvious. But if I can't pick our man Wyatt, which was such a cool, badass character,
Oh, yeah.
definitely my other favorite character would be Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great character.
He's awesome.
But what a great character. So,
Oh, yeah.
anyways, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Thanks.
If you're looking to find us, we have a link tree /Ian Wolf. You can find all of our links there. You can also just type in the Aftermath on all your favorite podcasting platforms. You should be able to find us somewhere. But
What do you say, Chase?
what do you say, Chase?
Whiskey.
Okay,
Wait, that's it? I mean, I got some whiskey in the bag.
we'll get some. Ethan's here now, so he definitely has.
The
He has
time
a.
for whiskey is now.
I'm pretty sure
you better get ready. You're
I'm
not
pretty
driving
sure
home tonight.
he has his whole selection on the table. I guarantee it.
Good.
Anyways, until next time, thank you so much for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.